If the museum warranties the status of art or photographic reproduction from its stylistic affinities, what might a digital reordering encourage? It is possible then that electronic information and digitalization establish a media lattice in which a museum's legitimating function is replaced by the virtual archive and/or museum gallery website. Could it also be said that some artworks are being produced solely to exist for the virtual archive? Moreover, has the time come when online documentation of exhibitions that never happened are created and presented? At the same time, as full-time browsing advance about the process of remediation, the influence goes both directions, from the virtual to the material in the ways artworks are documented, affecting the processes of legitimization and probably also of production, and from the material to the virtual, when the virtual is anchored to reality in an imitation or realistic representation of it, especially three-dimensional space. In this regard, it is interesting to see the different relationships each virtual archive or museum or gallery establishes between the virtual documentation and the reference. Just to name a few examples, for instance, the museum is coherent with the logic of the database, defining parameters and cataloging. The museum digital archives works as a database with images of single works, but mostly of installation views. Once one clicks on a single image to enlarge it, it is not possible to move to the next, but it's necessary to close the window, go back, etc. So actually fluent. Then the system shuttle follows the logic of an illusionistic representation and an immersive space, which also allows close-up that were not possible, that would not be possible for a visitor to access in the real site. And the Google Art project is a kind of vision of all the previous, allowing a simulation of a visit to different museums at the time that it permits to close up each work to see the captions and details on installation views. So without falling into modernist positions about the intrinsic possibilities of each medium, could we find a way in which the new archive can deal with art without imitating physical reality in the display, by taking the most profit of the hyperlink logic and thus of the overspill and of ambiguity? And we create a non-linear, more experimental and open archive in which each user could ideally build her or his own path through it. It has been discussed if this freedom of choice provided by the hyperlink logic and the virtual database is only an illusion or an utopist idealization of the medium. Even if not only unlimited, this possibility exists, and the medium undoubtedly offers considerable degree of personalization in the path to follow through a certain database. So, the humanism of the world become picture may reverse into the inhumanism of the world become information. For in the virtuality of the archive, what is real is not what appears at any moment, but what is conserved in memory. In the same way the object is digitized in the archive, the medium loses its original materiality to be converted into a pure image. Being absorbed and regenerated in the virtual database, its status changes to the one of an image text or of an infopixel. The shift Foster talks about is from the perception of the world as an image to the codification of the world, and these images included that result in pure information. This is the reason why the virtual archive no longer needs a physical reference. It doesn't mean that it has to be removed from all physical support, only that the support of the information, memory, and database, which constitutes the object's new materiality, does not coincide with the support that presents it to be seen and apprehended. Therefore, even if the referential relation is not completely annihilated, it becomes weaker and fragmental. The iconic sign in Peirce's terms still maintains its relationship of resemblance with the object, but the medium has been converted into an image text and an infrared. So its materiality has been translated into an information, into a code. This new database is generating a dematerialization of memory and its record. However, this dematerialization is not the same proposed by the conceptual art of the 60s. This is a new dematerialization which does not imply an annihilation of the object, but just a change in its ontological